excited today. I'm really excited about this episode of Off Script with Debbie. It's called DIY You. Do it yourself you. Emotionally, physically, spiritually exhausted. Is that anyone in this group? Yeah. They won't raise their hands. They're just saying, but we don't want to tell you out loud. You know what? As ministry wives, we need to take care of ourselves in all three of these areas. But so many times we're taking care of everyone else, family, people in the church, that we almost feel guilty taking care of ourselves. But Dr. Smalley says this, and it's a great quote. He says this: people often avoid personal care because they think it's being selfish. In fact, the opposite is true. The fuller you are, the more you have to give. And the more you have to give, the more you're able to serve God and others. There is not one thing selfish about it. So ladies, we want to encourage you today in the emotional and the physical and spiritual areas. We want you to be encouraged. I have 3 amazing guests that I want you to meet. So let's give it up for what we're going to talk about: not being exhausted. Okay, yay! Very excited to introduce you to 3 friends of mine that are going to share with us on emotional, spiritual, and physical health, because it's important for us as ministry wives to really work on all 3 of those areas. I do 2 really good and 1 I don't, and we'll let you guess which one that is by the end of this. But I want to introduce you to 3 of my really good friends. Mary Beth Wall. Mary Beth served with her husband for 20 years as ministry pastors or music pastors, and then she went back to Northwest University and got her degree. And she got an MA in counseling and psychology, and she's been serving at as a clinical therapist for the last 12 years. For all of you that have thought about going back to school, she will tell you can do it, okay? Absolutely. Okay, and then I have Gail. Gail's a personal friend who has helped me on my own spiritual journey. She has been great at helping me to really understand my spiritual formation, to really implement things in my life that I was missing as a pastor's wife that has really helped me to be spiritually strong. So I'm always indebted to Gail. She's a good friend. She's also a grandma, and she also rides Harleys with me. So yeah, we have many connections, but Gail is amazing. She's a teacher, she's a pastor, she's a speaker, she's a blogger, and right now she is working on her doctorate with AGTS. So yeah, I have smart friends. Yeah. So, and then I have Sue. Sue is here to help me. She's here on the whole physical part. I don't know about you, but I just don't think I have time for the physical. And I'm not sure that it's the time, but I think it's the effort. But Sue is amazing. She has her own yoga shop. Shop? Do you call it a shop?
Studio.
It would feel like a shop to me because I'd have to go work out. But Sue has been a fitness pioneer and entrepreneur for 23 years. Her approach to fitness is that it needs to be fun, encouraging, and effective. Okay, I've never heard that before. Maybe I can do this. She has been the group fitness director at Harbor Square Athletic Club since 1996. Sue's mission is to inspire others to live their best life and to be their happiest, their healthiest self. I'm pretty happy, but I don't think I got the healthy down sometimes. So this will be great. And it doesn't take very long until you hear Sue say to you, "You've got this." Okay, so that should be my whole vision for this year. Somewhere along this year, Sue's going to look at me and say, "You've got this."
Right.
Some pose or something down the line. She's going to go, "Hey, you've got this." So Mary Beth, I want to ask you, what are some things a ministry wife can do to just really stay emotionally healthy?
Well, of course, it's all about relationship as far as I'm concerned. It's just, of course, your relationship with the Lord is primary, and then after that, your relationship with your husband, family, and then developing a support system. I know you've talked about that with ministry wives. Support system with friends, and then some people have asked, when do you know you need to go to a
Okay, I kind of was wondering. I wanted to
counselor?
ask that.
Yeah, so
when do I need to know?
I'm a therapist and I have a therapist, right? I think everybody can benefit from it. But I think when you're in ministry, in particular, there are things you really can't share to just everybody, and you need to have the confidentiality of a counselor, and that's by law. We have to keep it secret, right? So I think when you feel that all the support system that I just mentioned is stressed, it's time to talk to somebody else outside that support system, and that's where a counselor can come in.
I know when I was growing up, like in my mom's era,
Yeah.
it was like you had sin or something. If you went to a counselor, it was like, oh, like you were at the, like, it was like you were ready to,
Yeah.
But I feel now, I hear so much more about the healthy people all have seen counselors because it's helped them direct their emotions and just really help them.
Oh,
Do you find that?
Absolutely, and when you're in the ministry, you are caring for people, right? And so that can be tiring. I remember my dad was a pastor too, and I remember somebody showing up at our door who had too much to drink at 1:30 in the morning, right? And him counseling that person, and you know, and my mom feeling like the house had to be perfect for everybody that popped in at any. So you're caring for other people all the time, and sometimes you just need things, other people to care for you.
Yeah,
So
great
counseling comes in
word.
like that.
Great, yeah, that is excellent. So Gail, I wanted to ask you, what can keep ministry wives from experiencing life to the full that Jesus wants to offer us?
Yeah. I think if I had to pick one word that really describes this generation, that word would be distracted. I think we would all agree that we feel scattered and distracted on all fronts. And what that causes is us to multitask. We have to do many things at one time, and ministry wives can relate to that. We juggle many, many things. And the word distracted actually means to draw apart, to disintegrate kind of thing. And so, and the thing with multitasking that is that we always think we're good at multitasking. We can do many things. We kind of are pride about, I can do many things at one time. But in reality, the brain can only do one thing at one time. And what it learns to do is toggle back and forth really, really, really fast. And so that's why the texting and driving thing that's out, because they know you're either driving or you're texting, but you're not doing both. And the brain is really good at that, but the problem is, it's funny, the more you do something, usually the better you get at it. In multitasking, the more you do it, the worse you become. And what happens is we learn in our lives to flitter from one thing to the next thing, because that's all the time we have for us, so we flitter. Well, unfortunately, that distraction and that flittering translates over into our spiritual life, where time with God is we flitter and we don't have that. And we actually lose the ability, when we live this way, we actually begin to lose the ability for any long, sustained attention. We start to lose our attention. And being with God demands our attention. It demands time, and it's the things that we don't think we have time for. And when we show up in this place with God, we're so distracted and we're so uncomfortable because we're not used to, and we're not even trained anymore to stay in this place. Yeah. And so it kind of works against us. This distraction really wars against our spiritual life.
Well, and I read a quote recently. We always say we don't have time. I don't have time for devotions. But I read this quote that says, you always have time for those things that are important to you. And it kind of hit me like, if I really love the Lord and I really want to grow in my relationship with Him, if He's important to me, I should make that time.
And I think everybody would say that. Everybody would say, God is important to me, of course. But the thing with attention is that it's a trained thing. It's something that you train yourself to be. And if we kind of keep flittering, then we're training ourselves not to be all there. And so the problem is,
we're training ourselves to be really expert flitterers.
And so we're never fully present. We're never fully present with God in the time. We're never fully present with ourselves, and to ask our questions like, really, how is my life unfolding? How is that going? Is this really how I want to live? And so we don't ask those kinds of questions, and then oftentimes we're not fully present with others. We're doing this while our kids are talking, and we never. So the problem is all three of those relationships. Those are the things that Jesus said were the most important things. Was God's self and others, and those are the things that we are not ever fully present to because of the way we've been trained.
And would you say being fully present is like the most needed spiritual practice for today?
I would. I would say the hardest thing we'll ever do, because we've been trained differently. So we have to be intentional about training ourselves in a different way.
And Gail really helped me that in my own spiritual formation, because I found like whenever I was with like even my grandchildren or I'm with my daughters, I would be thinking about my next thing I needed to do.
Right.
You know, we're always just, and I really realized I don't want to live my life in regrets. And I've really learned, like when I'm with my grandchildren, I am present. I'm enjoying that moment with them. I'm putting away the distractions, like my phone and different things, because we allow distractions too. And just trying to really, in that moment, be present and not feeling guilty if something flitters by, but just learning that, like she said, you learn to do it and to be present. And you have a fuller life because of it. I really agree. Yeah. So now we're going to get to the area that Debbie probably needs to work on. Sue, you are passionate about physical fitness. I mean, you really are. I'm a really good friend with your mom. That tells you how old I am. But, you know, she'll always tell me what Sue's doing. She's got her own yoga. And I'm like, she is amazing. If you go on her Facebook page, she can make her body do things ours doesn't do. You are awesome. But what would you, you know, I know everyone says when you do cardio, but I don't run. Is cardio important? Really, is it important?
Yes, it is important, but you don't have to run. I don't run either.
Oh, good. Oh, we don't have to run, everyone? Yeah. Oh, good. I am taking back those expensive tennis shoes.
When you think of cardio, just think of something that makes you get a little breathless, or like, you know, and sweating. Mm-hmm. So it could be anything.
Shopping?
Well, if you got to be doing
okay.
Reaching high, you know, dropping something
on the ground.
Down low. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it is important, because that's your cardiovascular. That keeps your heart healthy, and that keeps your body healthy. But it can come in many different forms. You don't have to run. You don't have to take a spin class. You don't have to do all those things. You can. I love the DIY. You can do it yourself at home. You don't need to have a gym membership or come to a yoga studio. You just find something that works for you.
What are the 3 most important exercises you would tell ministry wives they need to be doing every day?
Well, they're all exercise, but I'll give you my top 3 that I like to do. Lunges and squats, which is important. Planks or push-ups. If push-ups can be difficult for people with shoulders, so you can also just hold a plank. That's awesome. And any kind of core work where you're using your abs, and I can show you all that.
We're going to do a little exercise later, ladies, and show you some of these so that you are going plank. I have a plank in my eye. No, in the Bible it says don't plank. You know that?
Exactly.
That's been my excuse.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I only could do one, though, because some of us are like super busy being present with other things in our lives. If I could only do one exercise, what would you tell me to do?
I'll show you that too, but I would say plank, just because it's using your whole body, your arms, your legs, your belly, all your parts. But something about exercise that's really important to remember, and it kind of takes the mystery away, just move as many of your parts as you can in as many different directions as you can. And that's just going to keep that body healthy and moving and movable. And so you don't have to really know how to do anything except for just connect and be in your body. I love what these ladies are bringing, and it's so true. And that's why, to me, exercise is so important, is because it's all connected. You know, my yoga studio is called Breath, Body, Soul, and my whole philosophy on exercise and this whole thing is follow your breath, move your body, connect to your soul. And I really believe it's all connected.
It is. Yeah. I agree with you. Yep. And I was in Disneyland and did 18,000 steps with 5 grandchildren.
That counts.
That counts.
That counts.
I feel so much better.
Yeah,
so counts. If I just got a membership to Disneyland?
That works. As long as you've got to bring your grandkids, though, because you're picking them up.
Okay. So, ladies, is there anything else you'd like to encourage pastors' wives in? I know, Mary Beth, you've written a book. It's a great book, and it's for, you really said it's for women's ministry groups, that they can help women in their church when they fall into crisis, so that they can help them right in the church.
Right. So picture yourself leading a ladies' Bible study and someone says, my son suicided, or my husband told me he's leaving. And everybody's jaw hits the floor, and you say, we can bring you some meals, and then nobody knows what to do.
Or we say, we'll pray for you, and we walk away. Yeah.
And what do you do with that lady? And if you feel, as a pastor's wife, ministry wife, that you have to be everything for them, you're going to get exhausted and drained. And the reality is that these women hide because they realize my situation's too hard for anybody to handle in this church. So they go to counseling, and that's great, but what about being connected in their church? That's what they really need. So the book is called Growing Stronger. I wrote it together with Dr. Paul Meyer of Meyer Clinics. And it's not only, so it has 12 lessons that will help someone in crisis, but it also has a plan in the back to help women in ministry set up these intensive care support groups ahead of time. So they're in place, there's a safety net. Someone calls the church and says, this is happening.
Great.
I know just who to talk to. And the key is that it's supported by a therapist. So you don't have to be a therapist to lead one of these groups, but with the plan that we have in place, a professional therapist will support the leader of the group and be available to them so they don't get burned out.
And I have exciting news for your ladies out there. She brought enough books that each of you can take one home with you. I know. So I appreciate that, ladies. And I just appreciate all three of these ladies. And you all, what you are doing is making a difference. And I appreciate you being here today to help our pastors' wives and help them to know that we need every part of this working in our lives together. So thank you for being here. We're going to do a little activity now where you're going to learn what planking's all about. But let's give a great hand to these gals. Hey, hey, hey! Okay, now for the painful thing, okay? So Sue here is going to show a few poses,
exercises
that we all can do as ministry wives that want to be physically fit. So what's the first one?
Okay, I'm going to show you a squat.
Oh, a squat. Okay, I can do this one with you. I can, okay. My jeans are a little tight, but I'll try. Okay. I didn't know how to dress. Oh, do you want everyone to stand up and try it? Oh, let's do it, women. This is kind of fun. But don't use the chair for doing it. Okay.
So this is going to help you to know how to do a squat properly. So go ahead and just kind of pretend like you're going to sit down and then stand right back up. Pretend like you're going to sit down and sit right back up. There you go. That's a squat. Let's go. 4, 3. Come on, Deb. 2. And one more. Yes.
Woo! Okay, it just felt a little awkward. Okay. You can go ahead and sit down. Now show us another one. You keep saying plank. Okay, you...
Go for it. Let's do it right now. We'll do it.
Okay, you don't have to do this one. I will be the sacrificial lamb. Okay.
Show them shoulder over wrist.
Okay. Ready? Okay.
Good, you got it. Keep going. Okay, so you can do that on your knees if you want to. You can bring your knees down if you want. Yeah, you are. That's a plank. Get rid. Yeah, okay, you can bring your knees down, and that's still a plank. Yep. So just, that's still a plank. So just, kind of. No, that doesn't count. Notice how her shoulders are over her wrist. That's going to keep her shoulders feeling stable. And another thing to remember, if your body doesn't feel good, it's not lying to you. So listen to it. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. So find what works. But there you go. Right now, she's working her shoulders, belly, stomach, all of her parts right there. Woo!
I need a chocolate. Okay, so we thought it'd be fun on your third pose. We're going to have a couple come out from the audience. And we're going to see if they can do a pose and give them a prize for whoever can do it the longest or the best. So, we have a gal with tennis shoes, so we're going to bring you on up. So, Sue, tell them what you're going to have them do.
So we're going to have you balance a little bit. It's called a tree pose. Okay? So you're going to balance on one leg. And with your other foot, you can either let the foot just kind of come inside the ankle, or you can bring it up above the knee. You just want to have the foot be either below or above the knee.
So we're going to let them do this, and the one that holds it the longest is the winner. Are you ready? Okay. We'll let you count down. 3, 2, 1, go. Dude, you guys are good. Oh, you're shaking a little bit. It's okay. She said movement's good. What's up with you? No shaking, no moving your arms around. Are you healthy? Do you do this a lot? Oh my goodness. Oh, what? You're not a runner, but you're doing really good. The little shaking of the legs is concerning me. Are you okay? Okay. So, yeah. Okay, you're just making me nervous. The little shake over there. Oh. Okay. Wow, I don't know. They're doing it better than I thought. Okay, she's going to add a little more to it to make you. Oh. Okay. Okay, so you did great, but we're going to call you the winner, but you did amazing. But don't leave. I have some prizes. prizes for you. You gals did great. So, for the winner, see her shirt? See her shirt? Look what you get. Whoa! And we also have Magnolia Magazine DIY. And if you fill out the subscription in this and give it back to me, we will give you a year's subscription. And we do have a constellation. We give you a magazine. Whoa! Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Sue. So everybody go out there and do some planking. Woo! Okay, ladies, have we had fun today at Off Script with Debbie? DIY you, do it yourself. And I want to leave a scripture verse with you found in John 10:10, and it says, I came to give you life and to give it to you more abundantly. Yeah. And really, that's what God wants for all of us, is abundant life. He wants you to be well emotionally, physical, and spiritually. So I just hope you learned some things today. Instead of just do it yourself, why don't you do it for yourself? Do it for yourself. So we have some fun things for you guys today. So we have some protein bars because I want you to eat healthy, and we have Mary Beth's book for you. So ladies,